it's being the awareness of that it's happening, right? And when you're aware, you can change it. If you're not aware and you've got the blinkers on and the rose-tinted glasses, it's hard to really catch yourself.
Welcome to the Manders Mindset Podcast. Here you'll find both monologue and interviews of entrepreneurs, coaches, healers, and a variety of other people, where your host Amanda Russo will discuss her own mindset and perspective and her guest mindset and perspective on the world around us. Manders and her guests will help explain to you how shifting your mindset will shift your life.
Hey guys, welcome to Amanda's Mindset. As always, I'm your host, Amanda Russo, and I am here today with a very special guest who is based in the UK, and she is a multi-dimensional spiritual teacher, a 5D ascension guide, facilitator of healing and consciousness, a psychic consultant, and a well-being advocate. And I am here with Morgana Marie today. And I'm glad that we're being here.
Hi, Amanda. Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you. It's so appreciated. Hi, everyone.
Thank you. So I'd love if you could get into a little bit of your background and how you got to where you are today. Whatever you want to share with us.
Sure. Thank you. So I come from a very skeptical space. I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, oh my God, yeah. There was a time when I was really skeptical. I was very closed-minded, one-minded, not spiritual at all. Very just it's just like this. This is what life's about. And this is how it is. And so I had a series of experiences that drew me to, I basically have a mental breakdown, and go through some near-death misses that really, it was like an awakening, oh, you awake, wake up. I was like, I was being shaken up, woke up, wake up. And at the time, I didn't know that's what was happening. I just thought I was really unwell mentally, and I felt like I had nothing. I didn't know where to go, where I was going in life, no direction, very confused. And yeah, it was like almost a light bulb was switched on, like something clicked within. And I kind of saw the world differently after those experiences. And it was almost like, well, where am I now? I felt different. I looked different. I kind of come back from these experiences with heightened awareness and understanding that there was more to life than what I had perceived. And that's where my sort of spiritual journey started. And then the rest was just kind of history. Or I'm still in the moment, still in the process, but yeah.
Was there any one big moment?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I had 3 near-death misses, so those were huge. 2 of them were near car accident. The other one was basically I didn't want to be here anymore. I was like, I'm done. I need to check out now. And it was really tough. And but there was something stopped me, right? I'm still here. Something stopped me. And I was like, why am I still here? What is going on? There must be something else to it, and I like to bring humor to this because it's a dark subject, right? I do like to bring joy to it and laughter if we can in some way to keep lightness to it, to really help people to understand that there is another way, there is choice, and we can choose to move beyond these dark times. And those for me were turning points. They literally changed how I continue to move forward in my life. And it was like I say, I saw the world differently. I started speaking differently. I started having awareness of why I was feeling anxious, why I was feeling depressed. Things just kind of made more sense to me. I started having an understanding of why I was here, what my purpose was, and I was led into doing reflexology and massage and holistic therapy and Reiki, and none of these things were in my awareness before that. And I was like, what's this world of wonderful woo?
Yeah. So what did you discover post all of these experiences?
Oh my goodness, a world of possibility and transformation and change. And I was able to find life, I feel, for the first time. I really understood like why I was here and what my purpose was. And there was more to life than what I considered my life to be. And there was joy. There was like a sense of like a purpose in life, right? I was able to be connected to my body, and I was more in my body more. And I understood why I was feeling a certain way, and I connected with people differently on a different level, more connected with nature, life, animals, family, and my friendship circles changed because the people that I had as friendships before weren't on the same sort of frequency as me. And I don't mean that from a kind of egotistical way. It was more like, oh, we're not kind of compatible anymore. I need to kind of be in a different social group. And I had to really just kind of roll with it. I didn't know what was happening, but I did. It was like an inner knowing I had to follow. I say it was a scary place, for me at the time. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to go on the ride anyway. Bit like a roller coaster, literally. So, yeah, there was a lot of, times of uncertainty and confusion. But there were times of clarity and bliss as well. So I had kind of both ends of the spectrum.
When was work?
This was 12 years ago now. It's probably be a bit longer than that. This was when I was like, I'm 37 now. So I would say 21. And I was in my 21. Yeah. And like I say, I was kind of like I was actually working for the NHS at the time, our National Health Service over here. And I had other jobs. I was working as a care assistant. I was always very like a bit of a carer, helping people, I was in that field of health in some way. But I was like, is this it? Is this what I'm here for? Like, it must be more to life than this. Like, I was very unhappy in the work that I was doing. And going to college and learning everything I needed to learn kind of helped me kickstart my business, and something that I'd never perceived that I could do beforehand. I was just like kind of going from job to job to job to job. And there's nothing wrong with that. I was really trying to find myself, I was trying to find what I was meant to be doing. And each job I did teach me something. But yeah, it feels like lifetimes ago. I think my soul is very old. Traveled a lot. But yeah, it also feels like it was yesterday in some ways. Yeah.
And how soon did you leave that job and start your business?
That was around 11 years ago, literally about kind of a good year after I started doing the college course, because I was like, I need to start my business. It's what I want to be doing, and what I'm here for. Like, it was just like, yeah, it's what I'm meant to be doing. And I basically just thought, I'm just going to do it. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to start a business. And I got all these insights and information coming in, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway, and just follow the energy. And somehow, I just started sort of sharing what I was doing on my Facebook page. I was doing this like weird thing with feet called reflexology, like rubbing people's feet to make them feel better. Bit weird, but yeah, I love it. Incredible. And then it just kind of started from there, really.
And now, how does reflexology work?
Oh my God, reflexology is amazing. Basically, there's like zones, they call it zone lines on the feet. And there's like can't remember all the details of it now, but there's zone lines, and once you massage them, you kind of touch certain points on the feet, and they correspond with the areas of your body. So you can literally work on a point on your foot to work the digestive area in your body. So you kind of detect like where there's blockages and imbalances, and it's very well.
How? Okay. I have a name, but I never knew like in depth like how it worked. Oh, okay.
I was wowed at the time. I was like, wow, this is amazing. What?
Hey,
Yeah.
how long did you do that for?
So the reflexology I did for about 8 years, and massage and different therapies and things. I was obsessed. I couldn't stop learning. I was like, oh, what's next? We'll do a facial course. Oh, what's next? We'll do a crystal course. Oh, what's next? We'll do a yoga course. What's next? Just couldn't stop learning. And I did that for 8 years, and then lockdown happened. 8, 9, 10. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I might be getting the timeline a little bit wrong with days and hours and things, but I remember, COVID sort of put a bit of a spanner in the works, and couldn't do any of the in-person therapies anymore, and I had to change what I was doing, and well, not change. It was more transition, upgrade what I was kind of doing, and transition. Couldn't touch feet anymore. Couldn't massage people anymore. Couldn't teach yoga anymore. I did it online for a bit, but it didn't really resonate with me doing it online. I struggled with that. Yeah, and then again, I retrained in energy work and theta healing, and that's kind of when I moved to everything online. And I had no idea what I was doing. Time, no idea. But yeah, trusted the energy and followed it anyway.
Okay. So you basically followed your intuition, would you say?
Yeah. Even though I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but my intuition was like, yes, you do, just go for it. So intuitive nudges and those kind of like, you might, any listeners here might go, oh, what is that? Intuition. You might get like a shiver or a nudge or like a little whisper or just a pull, like a certain feeling in the body that goes, do this, try that. Have you tried this? And just follow that energy, because you don't know where it's going to go, but it's worth going on the journey anyway.
No, I agree. Have you been good at following those little nudges?
No, I haven't. If I'm really honest, no, because if I had followed my intuition way, way, way back before, I will probably be doing this my whole life. However, my intuition was very repressed. I was very repressed. I was very like closed down intuitively. I feel from a young age, but looking back now, I was always very aware. I was always very sensitive, empathic, and psychic, and all of it. But through my childhood, because I went through a really bad time, all that was just kind of repressed and shut down. So for a long time, I just ignored it. I was very disconnected to my intuition. And over the years in this field of work, my own healing journey, I've had to really start to acknowledge it more and be like, I'm acknowledging more and more and more. And it just strengthens it more. So yeah, it's not always been easy, to follow that. I've doubted it a lot and not trusted it a lot, and that's got me into some tricky situations. But I had to go on the journey anyway and learn those lessons. And yeah.
Was there anything that helped you to start following the nudges?
Yeah, I would say, if I'm really honest, my connection with the spirit world, if I have to be really honest, because honestly, I don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for like the spirit, actually looking out for me, protecting me from harm and making sure I was here. I have to thank them because I honestly would not be here without them. So that helped me to go, wow, it's more to life than just this physical body. And I really need to start acknowledging my intuition. And because I was getting a lot of information before, and they're trying to come in and show me messages and stuff, but I just blocked it out. So I was like very scared of it. But yeah, I started opening up more to those aspects of myself. And that really helped me to realize, wow, like my intuition is right. And I need to follow that more because it knows better than I do. It knows better than my logical mind, you know. So, yeah. Bit of a blessing, really. Many blessings.
Now you say it knows more than your logical mind. Would you say your intuition is usually different than what your logical mind says?
Always. Oh my God. My logic's like, it's got to be this way. Do it this way, and this is the only way. Also a bit limiting. Okay. And it gets, it's like a frustration because you're like, well, it can't just be this way. But your logical mind is like, well, you've always done it like this. And you're like, well, yeah, I have. So that's how it works. But my intuition's like, well, actually, have you tried it this way? This feels more ease. This is way more fun. So it's completely different language. Completely different. And it has like no reference points, I would say. And logical mind has reference points of what's happened before. And we really function from reference points a lot in the past and what we know and what we've experienced. Whereas intuition is like more futuristic. It's like forwards energy. Very, very different.
Okay, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, very different energy.
I'd love if you could touch a little bit upon the type of coaching you do with your clients.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so it's called my multidimensional. I've really tried putting I've used so many different titles for what I do. Oh my goodness, it's been a journey. But multidimensional just sums it up. It's quantum. I'm working with the physical, the mental, emotional, energetic, spiritual, all different realms, possibilities, the astral realm, the auric realm, like different realities, timelines, past lives, future lives. Like everything I do is like quantum. It's physics, it's science, it's all of it. It's consciousness. It includes everything and judges nothing. So that's why I call it multidimensional, because it is this multidimensional approach to looking at someone's life or someone's experience from all aspects of self. And it goes even kind of beyond the self in a way, into the future, into possibility. And the wild exploration is consciousness.
Okay. Wow. So you do a lot with them.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's fun.
I bet. Now, is it geared towards like personal life, business, anything?
It's interesting. My clients have sort of changed over the years, and a lot of the clients that I'm supporting now are kind of leaders, people who consider themselves a leader in some way. They're like ambitious, they're conscious people who care about the planet, and they are here for a bigger purpose than themselves. So those are the people that are like the visionaries of the world, even if they don't consider themselves to be a visionary, or it's someone that really sees another way, that knows there's more to life, and they want to help the planet and help themselves too and create it better for everyone. So it's those are the people that I resonate most with. And there has been other, that includes sort of creative people, because they're very, very spiritual, they're very intuitive, but they don't often have access to their intuitive self, and they don't often have access to their spiritual aspects either. But then the psychic medium aspect of what I do, there's a completely different client. Those are people who are not like just starting their spiritual path. They're not really conscious. I wouldn't say they're conscious to the level that I am at, but they're awakening people. They tend to have problems in their relationships. They're very lost and confused in life. They wouldn't necessarily consider themselves as a leader, but they need clarity and closure of the past. So there's different ways in which I support different people. I don't believe in really niching. That really doesn't work for me. So that's yeah.
No, yeah, you get it. That makes sense. So now, I'm curious, how would you define spirituality?
Yeah, that's a big question. Okay, so everything that I embody and I guide my clients to do, am I doing that myself? Am I really am I embodying that myself in my own life, not just business, but in all aspects of life? Do I speak to a homeless person on the street, or do I open doors for people? Am I how am I speaking to people on a day in, day out basis? How am I really showing up beyond the business, beyond my work? Am I really walking, talking consciousness, kindness, compassionate, that's a new word. Yeah, that for me is being spiritual, like really embodying what I teach others and what I did, and not being afraid of, the person that comes to mind is like Princess Diana. Like she's just like one of us. Like I feel like she's one of us, right? She had this service, this duty. She never gave up on her people. She always had this divine working through her. She would not be conforming. She would be very much of service, of leadership to the whole world, to everyone, the sick, the poor, the rich, the wealthy, everyone. There was no judgment ever. So she's definitely an inspiration to me.
I would love if you could also touch a little bit upon what the 5D consciousness is.
Yes. So for those of you that don't know what 5D consciousness is, we're currently in that sort of 3D going into sort of 4D dimensional consciousness. This is where we're having to sort of shift from old paradigms, old ways of functioning, old belief systems, and that's old constructs, linear constructs are sort of shattering, and we're having to really rise in our belief systems and move from fear and lack and scarcity to love, compassion, higher frequency energies. And as we make this transition, we have to be willing to let go of the ego aspects of ourselves, all our kind of how we identify with ourselves, our labels, and this coming back to we are rather than I am. It's like we are together in this, moving from separation to connection, togetherness, from competition to collaboration. Yeah, just like what we're doing here right now. It's a collaboration. It's connection. So a lot of people might resonate that they're already doing parts of this. They're already embodying it. We can't resist the shifting of energies and frequencies of the planet. Our planet needs to heal. It needs to start again and rebirth, and that's happening. And we may be feeling the effects of that. And we really should be kind of working on ourselves and belief systems to be able to raise that consciousness. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard. and struggle for ourselves to live life. It will be tough. It will be difficult if we resist it. So hopefully that makes sense. We're having to really heal our traumas, karmic relationships, and work on ourselves, our wounds, where we're feeling triggered, and come together to really do this together. Yeah, regardless of what skin color you are, what age you are, what gender you are, we're moving away from that into interconnectedness. Something that's very exciting for me. No,
that's very true. And you mentioned not resisting it. Do you have any suggestions for anybody listening to not resist it and surrender?
Yeah. Acknowledge the fear is just like it's not even real. It's just like an illusion. There's no such thing as fear. Fear is again like a kind of control mechanism. It's how we're programmed. So acknowledging that fear is just that, and completely allowing yourself to acknowledge where you feel triggered, like how you're feeling inside, taking the time to actually connect with yourself and acknowledge where you're feeling triggered, basically. And yeah, surrendering to that, allowing yourself to be grateful for your life rather than be in judgment of your life. And so it's shifting your frequency and your understanding of yourself and the judgment of how you're living your life. And the more you do that, you see nature's abundance. There's abundance. We're not there shouldn't be any reason why anyone should be poor, ever. And the more that we can let go of resistance by surrendering and acknowledging our triggers, working together with each other, the more we can, heal ourselves and come together and make a difference. Not an easy job, I would say that. It takes a process.
Yeah.
I'm still a work in progress.
No, I completely agree. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
You mentioned fear is a control mechanism. Who would you? How so?
Okay, this is my point of view. Doesn't mean it's true, or I don't ever say anything to tell anyone what to believe. So I would just say this is true for me. But I would say fear is like a control. We're constantly being controlled through the media, through electromagnetic frequencies, through our computers, through our advert. The media has a lot to answer for, and it's constantly like drumming this fear into us, and it's control. It gets us to go, oh my god, I'm too old, I'm too bad, I need to go and get this cream off the shelf and make sure I look pretty enough to feel good enough and worthy enough. It's kind of that, and it's a way of controlling like us out of our existence. So we have no choice, and the only choice is to choose that thing rather than being like, I wonder what else is possible. I wonder what else is available. And we don't ask questions. We just assume and we conclude through this control. It's distraction. It's a distraction to help us to stay small and dimmed and limited. Yeah. So we have this, like the Matrix. Like, what pill are you going to take? Well, you're going to create your own reality. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I like that way of putting it. Not that it's a good thing, but like the way you framed that. I wasn't sure if you meant like control mechanism from ourselves, from a person, I was curious.
Yeah.
I was curious
Yeah.
on just that,
Yeah, we do control ourselves. I've spent a lot of my life trying to control myself. So, I still do it sometimes. I'm like, oh, where am I controlling myself? Or where am I controlling my life? And I have to be in the question, like, and there's some days where I'm like, okay, I'm going back into fear again. And, it's being the awareness of that it's happening, right? And when you're aware, you can change it. If you're not aware and you've got the blinkers on and the rose-tinted glasses, it's hard to really catch yourself.
No, that makes so much sense. I also take from that, like getting curious about, based on what you were saying, like, why
we control ourselves?
No, it's not exactly why we control ourselves, but so like you were mentioning, like fear is preventing us from questioning things, and like I'm curious, like become more aware, but also be curious about what you're seeing, what we're hearing, what you're watching,
Yeah.
what you're observing, what you're seeing on social media, what you're, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really important to just be aware, and always being the question of that. Like, even with things that I say, I never would want someone to go, oh yeah, I'm going to just align and agree with what she says. Yeah. I'm like, no, like, be your own question. Be your own question. I'm just kind of channeling information. I'm just the conduit at the end of the day. I'm just channeling whatever needs to come through. And then I'll bring in questions and invite, you to have a question, be the question yourself. And it's important, I feel, to be in that question so you do have the awareness. Otherwise, it's kind of, we walk around very, it can be very limiting for us. And we don't have to live in limitation. We can have joy and the things that are fun and that are possible. So it's a real reframing of how we live our life and what choices we make. It's consciousness, really. It's being conscious all the time. It does get easier. It's like a muscle that you have to work. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that comparison. Like a muscle.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You gotta practice that.
Absolutely. Yeah, having that mindfulness in your day all the time. Noticing when you're kind of, I used to check out a lot. I used to spiritual bypass a lot. I used to check out, gone. Like, for example, like, used to go to a yoga class just because I wanted to sort of check out my body and not be present with it, or couldn't be present with people or myself. And I still have moments where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm checking out again. And I have to be aware of that. Oh, I'm doing that again. It's getting a lot better as I've done the work on it. There's no reason to check out anymore. Like, I can be here, be earth, be grounded, safe to be here, and know where to belong. All of this internal dialogue. But yeah. And we have to just be aware, and it's a muscle. It's a muscle that we have to keep working, and sometimes we're going to get tired, and just give yourself a break. Have some popcorn, watch a film, and watch some Netflix if you want to. Nothing wrong with that.
I love that. I love that. It's a balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Always.
That makes a lot of sense. So now, earlier you mentioned energetic and spiritual. What would the difference?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. feel like energy is our first language. It's how babies communicate with their mothers, because they can't speak, and they're like, when a baby's needing some food, you're communicating energetically. There's this beautiful connection. That's energetic communication. When someone's saying something, but thinking another thing, or you're having a conversation with someone and they're trying to say something, but they can't say it. But you can read the energy of the situation. It's like, you go into a room, and you're like, it feels a bit odd in here. Like, you sense the energy. You just get an energy. You just get an understanding. There's something a bit odd about the room that you're in. That's energy. You're perceiving energy. Spiritual, I would say, encompasses everything. Yeah, it's how you would embody how you live your life through a spiritual lens. Are you exercising enough? Get enough physical exercise? Keep healthy and well? How is your mindset? What's the mindset like? How are you thinking? What's your thought processes? How are you feeling? Emotions, how are you feeling today? And taking all that into consideration all the time. So it's like a holistic spiritual approach. The spiritual includes, like I said earlier, this, science, physics, telepathy, psychic awareness, the ability to be clairvoyant, the ability to be clairaudient, clairsentient. It's like including everything. So spirituality, in the way that I would explain it, is including everything, and it does not discriminate to religion or age or anything in any way. But that's my point of view about it. Someone else's point of view about spirituality could be completely different. So it's an interesting, great question.
No one gotcha. So I listened to a podcast yesterday, actually, with a host and a guest, and they were both talking about coaching that they have, and they compared one of the women used spiritual and one of the women used energy, kind of in similar situation. So when you mentioned both, I was like, I wonder how she sees the difference.
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. It's good to see the difference, and it makes help people understand the difference between that and what it means for them too. Like, what does energy, do you perceive energy? Are you aware of energy? We're energetic beings. We have this ability to perceive something. A lot of the time we kind of disregard it, or we don't acknowledge it. So it's just kind of having that more awareness around that a lot of the time.
Yeah, so true. I loved your comparison for energy with the baby to the mother, because I've heard a lot about energy. I've read up a lot about energy, but I've never heard that comparison. But it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because you just know when even if you're not a mother. I'm not a mother, but I know if I'm with a baby, like, if there's something, how it's trying to communicate. It's the same with animals. Like, animals communicate energetically a lot. They will, and they will show us where we're being anxious, where we're being stressed. They will literally show us. They are like our mirrors.
No,
So it's a great reflection.
and
Yeah.
that really is. Wow. Well, that is
I'm trying that down.
I know.
It is.
So interesting to think of that. So, have you heard of a man named Jay Shetty?
I have. I don't know. Is he a coach? Yeah, he's a coach. Is that right?
I believe so. He's got a podcast. He's an author. Yeah.
Right.
So he ends his podcast with 2 segments, and I started ending mine with those 2 segments as well. And the focus is the many sides to us, and they have to be answered in one word.
What's that? Sorry, say that again.
There's 5 questions, and they have to be answered in one word each.
Okay.
Number 1, what is one word someone who is meeting you for the first time would describe you as?
Genuine.
Number 2, what is one word that someone who knows you extremely well would use to describe you as?
Bonkers.
And what is one word you'd use to describe yourself?
Sensitive.
Number 4, what is one word that if someone didn't like you or agree with your mindset would use to describe you?
Difficult.
What is one word that you're trying to embody right now?
Embodiment.
The second segment is the final 5, and these can be answered in a sentence. What is the best advice you've heard or received?
Do what's true for you.
Number 2, what is the worst advice you've heard or received?
Do what everyone else is doing.
Number 4, what is something that you used to value that you no longer value?
It's a tough one. Stunned me. Okay, toxic relationship. I used to value them. Not anymore.
And no, if you could describe what you would want your legacy to be as if someone were reading it, what would you want it to say?
Change making. Yeah, change making.
Number 5, if you could create one law in the world that everyone had to follow, what would it be and why?
The law of time. Because the law of time means you can bend time and you can speed things up if you want. It's a really powerful law. And it's a universal law, by the way. So it's like a quantum shift that anyone can create in their life to speed things up if they want. It's magical. But it's quantum. It's quantum physics.
And why would that be the law?
Because if you're like delaying your life when you're trying to meet your goals and live your life happy and joyful and you know, you want everything, you can use the law of time to have it now rather than push it away and delay it and have it out of arm's reach, at arm's reach. And that's just so cool to me because like you can create so much more change in the world if everyone did that. The world would be a completely different place if everyone did that and they learned the law of time and how to use the law of time. That's another topic. We can call that.
Okay. All right. Now I've got one more question for you. Can you share with me and the listeners some or all of the resources that you utilize consistently to remain successful in your life?
I do, yes, I can. I always go on YouTube and I constantly watch the Access Consciousness content. I binge watch that. Amazing stuff. I'm so inspired by Dane here for Access. Binge watch that like crazy. I love light language. I listen to light language activations all the time. What else? Tapping. I love tapping. I tap every day. I just love energetic tools. I do more of that than I do kind of real work as such. It's like those tools make my life ease. And everything else, like theta healing videos, anything that's got energy, any energy tools that are basically fun and creative to do that allow you to open up your receiving in your life. The YouTube's a hit, always a hit. I love it.
Awesome. Now, is there anything I didn't ask you or anything we didn't touch upon that you'd like to share with listeners?
Let me see. I would say, don't take life so seriously. A lot of us take life so seriously, and I really feel like we need to all have just a bit more, embrace that inner child more. The inner child that wants to come out and play and have a fun and laugh. And, when you do this spiritual work, we can all get so serious. And I feel like we have to really just learn to embrace that inner child innocence again. Like, who told us to grow up? Never, ever grow up. That's my last piece of advice, I would say.
Okay. I agree. I completely agree. And now, where can the listeners connect with you?
Thank you, Amanda. On my website, www.morganamarie.com, I'm on there, and LinkedIn as well, and also Instagram, Morgana_Marie_medium. And yeah, connect with me, and I'll look forward to connecting, and looking forward to sharing more conversations like this and resources if you want any. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. And I will link all of that in the show notes for you guys to get directly. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me on Mander's Mindset. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it too. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. And thank you guys for listening to Mander's Mindset. In case no one told you today, I'm proud of you. I'm rooting for you. And you got this. As always, if you enjoyed the show, I would really appreciate it if you would leave me a 5-star rating, leave a review, and share it with anyone you think would benefit from this. And don't forget, you are only one mindset shift away from shifting your life. Thanks, guys. Until next time.